Oh no, my audio is all kinds of skull, but Ray getting hit with a stun. Big blasters out of short. Deadly was able to force out and cheat death on a nice buck out of the mage fairly quickly. Guy got himself images and a bit of mobility, a little bit of the all the time. Got himself combustion action doing quite a number. Short and Deadly could be a bad spot. Does get rooted. Fear last second. Looking for a bit of heal. Blaze him to give himself an immunity, and I think that's going to be enough, but barely scraping out of that one alive. How do you live that one? Oh my goodness, and Demoniac trying to see if he can swing around you. The man just going for a Blaze Storm in case the rogue is nearby. Kidney shot, has to go for a trinket, immediate stun, picking up a little bit of health, but the rogue right now is in a great spot. All he's got to do is just kite you around, put some bleeds on you, and not let him out of your sight. Short and Deadly will not be able to get any recovery. Are you auto-attacking through a wall? Oh my god, you auto-attack? I hate that. I hate that about rogues, dude. Out of all the things, don't get me wrong, as a rogue, every advantage you can get, you're going to be happy about it. Don't get me wrong. But auto-attacking through a wall, I feel like, yeah, this right here, I mean, the guy's just getting constantly hit with a crippling poison over and over and over. There's nothing he can really do. Does get a stun onto Demonic with a big War Breaker. Bleeds are active, and Demonic might be in a bit of a weird spot right now, but he is going to go with a cheatsy doodle auto-attacks through the wall. They got to fix that, man. Big damage on Demonic, though. Wait a second. Maybe Execution's gonna be huge. Does go for the cloak. Maybe that's enough to remove the bleeds. Death mark is on him. Short and Deadly just needs one good hit. He says rogue in his sights, but maybe goes down either way, though. Does he get one more good attack? Does he get one? Oh, how are you still alive? Vanished by the rogue. Short and Deadly, I think it's gonna bleed out to all the dots. The fact that you lived. How would you live for as long as you did? I don't believe it. What the hell is this? Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? How did that happen? Tyr's gonna be up next, trying to see if he can search for Demoniac, picking up the eye, immediate stab by the rogue. This is looking for a quick, not escape. I was thinking gonna go for an escape. Honestly, are you gonna go back in there? Maybe trying to see if he can get a trinket. Blind would be huge. Let's go in for a cheap shot instead. Demoniac may go down. Secret technique, I think, is gonna be over unless cheat death. No cheat death. You're not even run cheat death. I was gonna say. Fear. Not fear. Flare. Close. Close. I missed a syllable in there somewhere. Gonna be a quick harpoon as Rosie does not want to let Tyr out of his sides. Back in the flare, will not be able to vanish out of this one easily. Trying to go for some damage, but that death shotgun just ripping right through you. Those eviscerates are also doing quite a number. It is gonna be a binding shot right after. It was a disarm to fall. Tyr is gonna have himself the cloak procking. As Spore Cloak is going to give him a bit of that protection. It's going to go for a shadow step. I think he's just trying to see if he can keep the damage going. And aggression going versus Rosie. There's no traps around him. Stun on the pet. Oh, maybe a stun on the hunter. I'm not even sure which one to try to stun. But that is a camo out of Rosie either way. The with a hunter's mark on a Tyr. Wait a second. How would you get that camo? That was so good. I am surprised that Tyr looking out for you as best as he can, but he keeps seeing the hunter's mark reapply over and over. Picking up the eye. It is going to be a grenade out of the hunter. Caught up a little bit of health. Next stun, I think, is going to be the winner. Unless Rosie can plant a trap on top of him if Tyr goes in for a shadow step. If you can deny him the proper stun, proper go inside of a stun window, you'll be golden. Binding shot around the corner. It does pick up the eye. I don't think he really meant to do that. And Tyr is not in a great position behind that pillar. Cannot really close the gap. Big explosive with the death shotgun. I think it's just over. Death shotgun and the pet are doing a number. I think it's just done. Yeah, it's just done. That is a rough one. That is a rough one. Death Striker by itself does a lot of damage in PvP, man. So if you see it, you better be afraid. Better be playing defensive as best as you can be. Lightning Lasso into Rosie with a Sunder right after. Goes in for a bit of damage of his own. Chief goes in for a trinket with a disarm right after, but the man doesn't really need access to weapons. He's got himself the Ghost Raptors with him to fuel him full of Maelstrom. It is going to be Rosie dodging away from the big Ascended Shaman while Turtle Show's active. Trying to go for a quick revive pet. I don't think it'll even matter as it's just a full hit of Wind Fury. Getting hit back to back. Oh, you got no health. Freezing Trap. There's no way you survive this, right? Feign death? Does your pet have a flame shock? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Do you get to survive this? Chief trying to see if he can deny this go. Root around the corner. Unless you got something for this guy right now. Healing Surges. Trap. He knows it's there. He's got to be careful. You get him out. Oh, you got the pet out with a Sunder. That is so good. Rosie at least cannot recover in health, and Chief is looking very, very healthy. Lightning Lasso has a trinket right last second for it, but a couple of Storm Strikes should do it, even though it's a dead shotgun. It's still a lot of damage, but the Hunter does go down. That is so close. Good use of that Sunder, man. If the pet wasn't there, that would have been tragic. It is going to be an I-beam out of Scar, though. He's just not going to let the Chief out of his sights. Full wall available. This is where Chief needs to go counter-offensive some way, somehow. All he can do is dampen the damage, but he needs Maelstrom in order to recover. The Wolves are in. Got himself a big Bloodlust. It's going to be a big Sigil of Misery with a Hunt to follow. And the stun right after. Maybe Pandaren Rachel will be huge here. Try to see if he can go super counter-offensive with massive damage to the Scar. Bird to follow, just dodge out of the side of I-beam. And just using that defensively just to get away, but the Demon Hunter is going to try to see if he can get in front of you. Root to follow, and is going to get himself behind the pillar. Scar cannot get out of this root easily, trying to see if he can maybe zoom around there, but his Thunder is going to stop him in his place. Another stun onto Chief with a knockback to follow. Chief looking to crawl back to survive this one. Panda Rachel just to stop the boy in place for just a moment as he gets himself another Demon Summon. And it's going to be a lasso to follow. Finally give himself a bit of a breather. Though Scar and Chief are not out of the woods just yet. Trinket available for Chief very soon. Dodging away from a Soul Break. That is huge right now because it's a big burst window for Scar. And this way Chief can use that to recover. At least not go down immediately with that big burst. And Scar still got meta. He still got a lot of opportunity to get himself a kill. Meta finally falling out, but next I-beam is going to do it. Pick it up a Demonic Soul, so it's 20% more damage done, so it's a good situation for him. Stun, that's himself a big go. Knock back as soon as he closes the gap. Maybe the Hunt is coming back little by little. Got himself a bit of CC. Unless he can get himself another Demon proc, he's kind of limited on how much healing he can do, unless he can go for a stun, big burst combo inside of a Demon form with all the Metamorphosis, Leech healing. Maybe it'll be good, but if Chief can establish control, lasso into a stun, the Demon spawns in, which is perfect for Scar. That's exactly what he needs. He needs I-beam in order to get himself that Leech, but honestly, Chain? You just Chain Lightning the guy? Were you hoping that Chain Lightning would be enough to kill him? Maybe this was like a Chain Lightning for Classic that did a ton of damage, but not now, but not yet at least. Scar charges back in, another Soul Break, but the Chief is there with a Root Totem in order to separate himself from the Demon Hunter as soon as the situation calls for it. As Scar trying to see if he can carve parts of Chief's soul just to get himself a little bit of recovery. He can't do it all that easily. He gotta wait for cooldowns though, but this is where Chief fully stacked up, ready to go, wall at the ready. Everything available, got himself wolves and everything. Maybe if you can ground some attack from Scar, you'll be golden. Scar does go in for a trinket out of the lasso. He needs to try to see if he can get ahead of the curve here as best as possible. And Chief, actually, it looks like Scar using mobility to stay away from those ghost wolves at the very least. Chief, that Maelstrom is not doing much, building yourself quite a bit of resources. Scar, I think, is trying to see if he can load up for another big go. Stun to Chief, trying to see if he can bait a trinket at him. I-beam right after, doing quite a number of damage. Demon spawns in. Sunder gonna do a little bit of damage. Wall onto Chief, does go in for a big Bloodlust. I think this way you just stay in and just commit. The big Hunt to follow right after. The more damage you do, the more healing you can get. This way you want to get as aggressive as possible. Imprison for just a moment. It looks like Scar is actually gonna play it super safe, maybe? I feel like with a Hunt, you want to get aggressive. You just want to do as much damage as you can. But meta is coming up in about 10 seconds. So maybe you just wait until the meta is up. You gotta find a way to limit the amount of damage you take though. So avoiding Chief like the plague, I think is gonna be the play. Unless Lasso catches it, not that you can do about this one. You just gotta survive. The snags go, it's gonna be Raptors back in. Stun to follow, I-beam right after. Could go for a proper Metamorphosis. Does get some big damage. Meta right after. Charge to follow. Looking to maximize the damage, but the burrow out of Chief just to reduce the damage. Take an intro, knock up onto Scar, intro, Storm Strike to slam you down. Does end up coming out on top at the end of the day with, I forgot what I called you. Gueba? I'm gonna call it with Gueba. Got himself a full Death Shock and Trinket out of that Hex as Chief tried to give himself a little bit more recovery. Yet another root, but the kill shots are flying right through. Grenade somehow ignores line of sight entirely. And Gueba looking to end this duel right now, but Chief, I feel like it's over, right? I feel like it's just done. Kill shot right in the back of the thigh, and Panda goes on the floor. But Diabolical's either up next. Whoa. When did you go undead? Is this your other character? Or did you just switch your human to undead in just a quick second here? Hello? Or Volk, one of those two is going to be up next, but it does give Gueba an opportunity to get himself a little bit of recovery. Nice weapons. What are the type of weapons the Demon Hunter used? He used the artifact weapons from Legion. Those are the artifact war glaive of Legion. I think they're Blades of the Deceiver. Soul Stun by Volk, Soul CC chain onto Gueba as he gets hit with the fear. With a Siphon, big burst to follow. It's going to be quite a bit of damage. Does going for feint death, but it ends up removing the dots of himself. Mass burst out of Volk though. Gueba, not a lot of health available, just grinding down, rotting down to all these pets with tentacles searing right into their brain. As Volk looking for that Good angle. All he needs is just to push in. Maybe a bit of CC. One more shot of more death. Does end up claiming it. Oh my god. It did say he's been practicing the burst of a shot of face, so I guess there's that, right? Alrighty, let's see if we can get ourselves, I guess, Night King back versus Chicago. We'll give Team Boris, I think, a chance to rest unless the other team does not have enough bodies. And we'll see how it goes from there.